Episode 2, y'all. Right. We here. We back. It's a brand new day. Your friend Ryan is the host here. I nominated myself as the host, but whoever is on this, listening to this recording right now of our podcast, you can vote now. You can vote for your friend Ryan. You can vote for Wilmer. Or you can vote for your best friend Mike. I promise you, it will hurt my feelings if I'm not voted for the host. That would just take the burden off of me having to carry these two guys. So if you want somebody else to host this podcast, please cast your vote and put it in. But now we're getting this podcast started. We have a name for the podcast. Sustained by Hustle Podcast. My Nightmare Muscle. And like I said, your host is Ryan for now. To my left, the viewing audience is right, is your best friend, Mike. And to my right, your left is Wilmer.
Just imagine
and
that.
Today's topic,
We spell hustle HUSCLE, and some people don't pay attention, and then you get the hypercritical people that say that's wrong. And
why are you spelling hustle wrong?
I've even had a lot of older people try to give me a vernacular and a literary teaching. I don't need that. But
Mike always gets those, by the way.
I do.
Mike always gets those.
That's because I shut people down with my literary knowledge.
He likes to make it work.
Oh, he does.
I'll be, look here. Everything's a literary device if you know what you're doing. And if you have a reason for it, I'm not wrong. Because all words are made up.
I think Ryan has something to add too with the football. Hustle up.
Well, that was the hustle up part. And if anybody's ever played a sport, one of the main terms is hustle up to the line, hustle up to the huddle, hustle up to take a knee. In sports, football was my main sport that I played, and that was always a term thrown around as in to get going, to get active, to not be passively walking from one task to the next, from one area that you're at to the next. You will hustle up to the next. So we don't dismiss any of our experiences in life. In my experience in life, really a lot of it comes from the football field, or a lot of sports that I did play. Mostly it was football. I did play basketball. I ran track, because I don't know if you can play track. So I ran track.
It's just like wrestling. You don't play wrestle.
No, you don't. You definitely. I did wrestle in middle school. And fun fact, when I got to high school, it got way too serious. When they said you have 1,000 push-ups, I walked out of there. So, all my wrestlers out there, I tip my hat to you guys. Actually, Mike he wrestled too as well. Yeah, surprisingly, he's actually really good.
That's my favorite sport ever.
All right, cool. Don't interrupt me.
I'm bad.
But long story short, man, we don't dismiss our experiences in life. We use them to our benefit. Wisdom is unbiased. Hustle up is a term that is reverberated through the sports industry, and if anybody has ever heard hustle up, that just your ears perk up. You're like, oh, where's coach at? And it's just one of those things. I don't know if they say it in soccer. They might say it in Spanish. Orale.
That's that thing. That's what my dad says to me.
No, I don't know, but I know that there's a term that is used in every sport, and hustle up was the one for me at least that it just meant get active. Put some intensity behind what you're doing. Don't be passive, don't be walking, don't be slacking. And we just use that term here. And then I also I'm always trying to have my shit be different. I always like to be different, even if it's with the group. I still want to stand out in my own way, but I'm a part of the group. But I want to be a part of the group with a red shirt on. I want to be a part of the group with hustle being spelled wrong. And my group is Nightmare Muscle, and we spell our hustle with muscle in it, because we put the muscle in the hustle. And the muscle that we talk about and speak of is the heart, because if you have no heart, you don't have a life. Your life is shit, and you have to now turn it around, activate the heart so that your life cannot look like shit anymore, and it can look like the opposite of shit. It can look like gold. It can be.
Yeah, be careful with that, because you can polish a turd.
No, you can't polish turds.
You can. It's actually a thing in Japan.
You can't polish turds, bro.
I'll show you a video later.
Anybody that's sitting there trying to polish turds, man, you got bigger problems that I can't help with, nor can Nightmare Muscle, at least right now. So.
Trying to master shit now.
Yeah. Trying to put deodorant over dirt. Trying to put cologne over dirt.
Oh,
take a shower. But yeah, man, that was just so for me, that's why we spell hustle like we spelled it. I saw it that way, and now that's why we spell it. And you know, the other hustles that people speak of, that's not what we're on around here. So we wanted to make our hustle stand out a little bit different, and it causes for a conversation like, "Hey, you know you spell hustle wrong." We would like to know what you guys think that the hustle looks like in your life, because if you're here listening to this podcast, to these three bros, these three brothers, these three homies, these three homeboys, these three brothers, these three brothers, these three brothers. I know brothers. Yeah, brother.
The worst part is I'm the only white one and I don't speak like that.
Mike is the furthest thing from white. Do not get it twisted. Excuse me. We want to know what your hustle looks like in your life and what the hustle means to you. And we just appreciate that you guys can just rock with us with this word hustle, man. It's our thing. It'll never be their thing. It's our thing. So that's how we're going to open up this podcast. And that's also how we're going to close it. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was the main topic that I had is people were having an issue or just having something to say about the hustle. And we just wanted to come on record again. I think we've addressed this 4 times. I'm pretty sure we're going to have to address this 400 more times. And I'm fine with it because every time we address it, we get better with our definition of why we spell hustle the correct way. So, that being said, all words are made up. Thank you, Thor, for that one. That's right. How you? All words are made up. That's a made up word. So don't be afraid, you guys, to go ahead and step in and throw in the topic that you would like to talk about.
With that being said, I think everyone should not be afraid to just do things. I think that should be a testament. We've been saying things like this and doing weird stuff for almost 10 years now. I say almost because we're past the 6-year mark now. But, you know, people, whether they hate us, they love us, don't know about us, or refuse to associate with us, whatever it may be, we're not going anywhere. The hustle's going to be there forever, and you're going to have to deal with it no matter what, especially because we put our logo on like every banner in the country right now.
These are facts. These are facts.
So I implore you, whatever your hustle is, whether you love us or not, go do it out there and do it. And the one thing that we can leave you with is that there's a space for you out there to do something.
Oh, absolutely. Every human being is unique in their own way, and you have a gift. It's just for whatever reason you accepted a salary or a check in exchange for your gift. It's time to give that check back or keep half of the check, like these two bros did here. I'm still collecting the check, but then I don't mind staying up late or waking up early. So for those of you guys that don't want to fully commit to your next hustle, you're just going to have to wake up early, and then you're going to have to go to sleep late. But fun fact about that is when you do finally decide to fully commit to your hustle, guess what? You're still going to be going to bed late and waking that ass up early. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. You just spend more time with it.
That one topic could be its whole 1 hour, 2 hour thing.
Oh, facts.
Because I've even heard, I'm not going to say who, but I've heard other people in our industry talking about the same topic. And it's really weird what the
topic of what?
Of making your dream work and quitting your job or whatnot.
Okay.
I thought it just everyone for the most part that kind of had a business would have a very similar mindset. They do not.
They don't want to quit their job.
They don't think
or
that
they don't think you can.
They don't think you should. Some of them think that's a too dangerous thing to do to jump. There's no perfect time. Okay. Here, backstory. I got fired. Will got laid off because of Corona. So there was no perfect time for this. It just that happened, and instead of moping around and being sad and not doing shit, we just made this work. But with that being said, if that didn't happen, I don't know if I would have a job right now, and I'd still be trying to figure this out. I'm off time, so there's no perfect time. But I do think, and I'm glad that we got forced into it. But what I've heard though is like people don't think you should do that. We got like in my case, some think that I should get another job because when that happened, like this was still not something that we could do all the time like that. There was a lot of uncertainty, but I've realized from doing this over almost 2 years now is there's uncertainty. It doesn't matter how much money you make or how much like whatever goes on. 1 month could be great. The next month could be the month that you feel like everything's in shambles. You don't know what you did wrong. You're questioning everything you did or didn't do. So I think I would like to hear your guys' like idea on it and when you think you should jump ship to go full time.
Well, for me, like I think I finally realized what you hear a lot of motivational speakers say you have to burn your ships.
Burn the ship.
Burn the ship, and you kind of have an idea of what that means, but now I really understand what that means, and it's like once you're in that situation where like, bro, like I got to do something right now. Even if I get a job, like it's gonna take a while before I get that first paycheck, and so I was in that position where I was like, fuck, I better make something happen now, or it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be a bad situation, and but that kind of forces you to figure things out. Like if you have faith, it takes a lot of faith and a lot of hard work, but that's kind of what happened. And so I don't know if I would recommend like quitting your job and just doing it. Like you said, like I was forced into it. I figured out that it was very stressful, and even now, it's not like we're like completely out of it, but at least I have the confidence to say like, I can stick it through and I can make shit happen, and I know how to, and I developed a lot of skills from going through that process and putting myself through that. So yeah, it's hard to tell someone to go through that, but it is rewarding if you're able to pull yourself through. So I will say that.
I think to piggyback off that, there's only two things that are happen under pressure. You're either gonna get diamonds or you're gonna fold.
I guess I'll speak from my point of view. This being your friend Ryan here, I'm not the most disciplined person, and I was fired from my job at 7up I was a part of that business for over 10 years. Got fired, and I took some time off. That's a testament to the type of wife that I have now. She told me just to figure it out. So she didn't tell me to get a job. We're blessed that, she makes the amount of money that she does. And we don't have any unnecessary bills that we created. We didn't create more debt, So it depends on your situation and the individual that you are. For me, I took about 9 months off. I didn't get a whole lot done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep it 100. I have two guys that I'm sitting next to that are more disciplined in certain areas than I am, and that is important to keep those type of people around you. And it also says a lot about me being aware of myself. All right, Ryan, you need to fucking get out of a job, go get your ass up, going to do, even if it's for 5-6 hours a day. So until you have the discipline to wake up in the morning, do your due diligence, run the program in, whatever that program is, your morning routine, and then go to work, whether it's at the business, whatever that is there, you need to go get a job. So I went and got another job, and I just got it for the benefits. And my wife said, you need to get some benefits, bro. Like, I'm not about to put you on my benefits right now because you're expensive. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'm not afraid of any of that stuff. And I've always had to do more. It's always been in me to do more. Even when I went to school, I had to go to summer school because I was just one of those kids that just always just was undisciplined with their studies. So it wasn't a surprise as an adult that I had to do some of the same things. You have a job, and then you have another thing that you have to do, which is a side hustle. Like it always makes sense for me to have other things going, and so that's why for those of you guys out there that struggle with, should I quit? Can I burn the ship? Just know if you do burn the ship, you're putting yourself in a situation where you're gonna sink or swim. And I'm pretty sure you can't swim across the Pacific Ocean like that. So you're gonna have to make do with what you got on that little island that you're on. You have to turn around and go face, all of the uncertainties that are to come. But I promise you, through those adversities, the true you will show. And then you'll have to make another decision, whether you're going to lay down or you're going to continue to get up, stand up, and go forward. Either way, you're going to have to make a decision, or the decision will be made upon you through life, and it will ultimately take your life for not making the decision, which you did make a decision by not making the decision, because you chose to not make it. So long story short, if you're not disciplined enough, stay your ass in your job. Don't complain about it, because there's so many. If you live in America, I do not care what your circumstances are, what the color of your skin is, what color your hair is, what size your feet are. It does not matter. There is a job out there. We are not short of jobs. We are short of people with a fortitude to just work through pain of not necessarily caring about what the job entails. Just give me a check so I can start to stack in this area, so I can get myself out of this job, so I can start to do what I really want to. But you're gonna have to do things that you don't want to do. That it is what it is. In what life can you do what you want, be what you want, and get what you want? There's no such thing. There's no such thing. By contrast, you need dark and light, good and evil, bad or good, helpful or hurtful. All of those things.
Or yin and yang. So
Stop wishing things away. Stop wishing things away.
There's good in the bad, and there's bad in the good.
And because you know good, you understand bad. And because you understand that, you understand this.
Yeah, I think the other factor you brought up too, the health, the benefits, man. That's another thing that you gotta consider too, because like for me, I'm paying a lot, bro. And then Mike over here doesn't.
I got no insurance,
so
I got to be super safe.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like the most klutzy person ever. I'll be falling. I'm really lucky I haven't hurt myself.
Well, Mike does get picked up, so I think that's probably why he still gets picked up, because he can't afford to get into an accident. So whoever's driving him got him covered.
You gotta get that liability insurance.
You gotta get in a car and say, "Hey, you got full coverage up in here?"
Coverage.
Or do you at least have, what's the other one? Liability. Because
I ain't gonna cover Mike.
Nah, dude, because you can get some serious injury with little fender benders.
This is your fault. Liability ain't covering shit.
So with that being said, you guys, there's 3 different people here with 3 different situations and circumstances. Experiences with a job, with not having a job, and deciding to go all in on themselves. Not even necessarily whatever the hustle is or whatever the business is. Will had to go all in on himself. And he has to continuously work on himself. Mike has to go all in on himself and continuously better himself in order for whatever he has his hand on to become better. You cannot become better at whatever you're trying to do, whatever that thing is, if you're not better in yourself.
And with that being said, I definitely suck at a bunch of stuff. I'm not perfect. I got my own flaws and problems and little demons that I'm facing now. And by no means has this been easy on any of us. Whether it's our relationship with each other, or the relationship with our spouses or significant others. Doing this and going on this journey specifically is going to put a lot of stress on all those relationships, because it requires much more than you think it does. The amount of sacrifice you'll give to make your dream, or the dream that we're all trying to create here, goes beyond anything anyone can tell you. I can tell you, you can go on YouTube and find a bunch of people talking about eating out of trash cans, being homeless and making it, and telling you what they had to sacrifice to do it. And I guarantee you that's not even, you'll never feel a fraction of what it actually takes. And with, like I said, we all have a different, experiences. One of us has a kid, one of us is married, one of us is basically a child. And
I was about to say.
So it's hard for all of us. And I'll tell you this, I say this a lot. Because we do so much printing with certain people, big and small and medium-sized brands, a lot of the things you see is a facade. So don't look to others online and assume that because it looks like they're killing it, that they're doing it, and that's what you want. If you really want to go out and make your dream come true, you have to take your life in your own hands and figure it out for yourself. I can't sit here and tell you to quit your job or not quit a job, start a side hustle or not. I do know that if you start anything and you learn that you either meant to do that or you're meant to stay your ass at a job, that at the end of the day, you're going to be far better off.
Facts, man. Don't be scared. Scared money don't make money. You can nickel and dime your way, or you can, go for the big swing, or the big five. These are domino terms. Excuse me. My aunties and scared money don't make money. You gonna nickel and dime your way to the win? But I think what we're all trying to say here is, you have to spend some time with yourself, and then you have to just see what you really want in life, man. Do you want to continue to show up to that job that you do not care about, that you complain about hourly? I'm not even going to say daily.
Yeah.
You complain about it hourly. You text about it. You call about it. You post about it. You Facebook about it. You tweet about it. You TikTok about it. When are you just going to make a decision to just say enough is enough?
And show up for yourself.
And then sometimes, like, let's say you are complaining about your job, right? Yeah. And then you go ahead and take the leap and you quit, and you realize, oh shit, like doing this hustle is actually way harder. And you're like, fuck, I've had that moment where I'm like, fuck, it's probably easier to just go back to a job, bro. Like, true. So you might realize, the job ain't all that bad. Like, having a job ain't all that bad.
Let's be honest. The job is not that bad.
It's not. You're just upset for whatever reason.
You're not saving lives. I'm pretty sure if you're probably at a cash register, you're door greeting, you're asking people what size shoe you want.
Maybe some manual labor.
Or you're at the work site. There's a handful of things that most people that are on this podcast are doing. If you're above that, man, more power to you. Hopefully you're not bitching about your job either. But man, just think about your situation, man. It's not hard. You're making it hard because you're talking shit about it all day long. So then, therefore, you're using up that mental energy towards something that you could be looking to use it in a positive way by being at that job and saying, I'm grateful to have a job. I'm grateful that both my hands and feet work. I'm grateful that my mouth is working. I'm grateful that I have these mental faculties that I can start to imagine some other things where I'm not at right now. But instead, you used to sit there and complain about your situation. Why don't you write a fictional story about your life and put that on a PDF file and send that out?
Hey, because you can self-publish on Amazon now.
I'm telling you, man. Like, if you're just a complainer, like, I'm pretty sure there's some people that'll buy your book or online or what
your audiobook, your e-file,
what's the e-file, the ebook,
the ebook.
Oh, this is so true. But at the end of the day, man, you gotta do something, and you're sitting here listening to three dudes that have decided to do something, and by no means have we ever complained about it. I've bitched at them, and they've taken my bitching and they've taken it as as the angels that they are. And then I've realized that I've done a lot of bitching at them and myself, and then I'm like, man, I'm sorry about the bitching and stuff, and they're like, it's cool, bro, we understand. And then to grow from that, and then to understand each other, and then now to want to develop our relationship so that we can grow this thing so they can take care of our families. We wouldn't want to do anything else. This is all we want to do, and we just want to grow it and then show it to our families and community, and then potentially the world, that it can be done from wherever you're at in life. It doesn't matter where you're at. It does not matter, I promise you, especially if you're in America. I don't give a shit what the news says right now. It is not as bad as it seems. They're making it 100 times worse than it is. If you have a phone, especially if you're listening to this,
you can make some money.
You can make some money. If you're not monetizing your passion, you should be smacked in the face right now. Actually, take your hand. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I want you guys to come back.
No, but I think you're right. So if you are complaining about money or your job and you have a cell phone, internet connection, or access the internet, because you could do all this stuff in the library, because the library has free internet.
Yeah. So we're talking about that. All right. So like, let's say someone wants to invest.
Hold on, bro. We might need to save that for the next time. Now, you know what? We're giving too much information right now. We're gonna save this for another podcast. We love you guys. Cause we only got so much juice. You know what I'm saying? We looking like the juices is flowing right now, but we want to keep this short and sweet. I know we've been doing a lot of talking and not a whole lot of organized speaking, but we're gonna get better. But I think my point here, we all give our ending points to this. My point here is quit complaining about your circumstances and create better ones. Quit complaining about your circumstances and make better ones. You can do it. You have the abilities. You just have to take time to sit with yourself and do it.
Cash.
That's your ending point, cash.
And in return, you will get cash.
That's right. Manifest.
Cash money.
My end point is stop bitching if you ain't willing to do nothing. I don't want to hear you complain. However, I think I say this for all of us. If you are someone that's willing to go out of your way and ask for some help, especially any one of us, if you have the audacity to come talk to us about stuff like that, we are more than usually happy to help you or figure something out. Or not as big, at least I'm not a big asshole. Just kidding, I for sure am. But there's I know, right? But with that being said, I guarantee you, if you want to try something out and you're a little lost, and Google and YouTube, the DuckDuckGo, the other one, and all, you can't find your solution there, and you happen to come talk to us, and we have a solution, we'd be more than happy to help you out. And I think that goes for a lot of people in this world. You just have to ask. So if you're willing to ask for the information, I guarantee there's a teacher out there for you, and there's a place for you. So go out there and make your dreams come true.
End it with our sponsors.
Oh, here's a quick announcement from our sponsors, Nightmare Muscle. We put the hustle in the muscle and the muscle in the hustle. Make sure to go check us out at nightmaremuscle.com and use your Built by Heart discount code. Again, that's Built by Heart, one word, no capitals, and get 50% off your next order, because they're the ones putting the bill to make sure we can keep talking about all these cool stuff with you.
With that being said, we love you guys. We appreciate y'all. Hustle fam, we out of here. See y'all next time. Peace.